Okay. Are we back? Are we back? We back. Excellent. Okay. A little worried about my internet going kaput again. Frustrating. But, hopefully we can manage. Alright, I'm just gonna take a little shortcut. Weird was holding up pretty consistently up to that point. Yeah. Weird. I'm gonna take a little shortcut. I'm just gonna... It's not gonna look perfect. But... There we go. Just cover over all of the letters with what's around them. Hopefully that wasn't the roommate using the microwave, because they said they wouldn't. They said they didn't need to for dinner tonight. It'd be annoying if they were now, going back on their word. Stretch that a little, make it look interesting. There we go. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that looks okay. Now we're just gonna take this, stretch it down. Miss the spot. I'm gonna try something a little funky, perhaps. Stick that in the middle, select the whole thing. And then I'm gonna hit blur. A radial blur. Okay, never mind. It wants to incorporate the orange. Cancel. Effects. Blur. Motion blur. Angle. Directly sideways, I guess. Edge behavior. I don't know. Okay, no, blur isn't doing what I want. Perhaps crystallize. Oh, that's not great. Version without the noise grain. Oh, that would be fantastic. Wait, no, I want the noise grain. I'm trying to recreate the noise grain. And then I'm just going to go over the top of it. Yeah, hang on. Why don't I just add noise? There's a button right there for it. Coverage. Be that much. Color saturation, none. Intensity, low. Okay. And then take that and then stretch it. There we go. And then saturate it even less. That's not working. Cancel. Contrast. I want to lower the contrast. That's not helpful. You know what? I'll leave it as is. But the edges need to be distinct because... Did that do what I wanted it to? There we go. I think that's okay. Think that matches it all right. I'm just gonna copy this and then see if pasting it over that one real dark spot. I think that looks a little better. We'll do something similar over here. For that one. Hopefully that looks okay. Anyway. Saying seems smooth on how to control it in. Yeah. Actually, hang on. Let me check something. Okay, hang on. I want to try that noise. No, it doesn't. Yeah, cancel. It does not. Let me control the aliasing. Oh well. Okay, hold on, actually. I need the colors. One moment. There we go. Okay. Now then. Let's smooth it when you stretch it out. There's a way to... I could maybe fix that. I'll save it as two separate things. The overlayer and then the whole thing together. And if you don't like how the whole thing together looks, then I will send to you just the overlayer, and then you will be able to put that on a sign as it is. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's just black, but some bits that are less black. Okay. Like the Enderman texture, actually. Okay. Yeah, 3. There. It's 5 by 3, right? Yeah, oh, it's one higher. And then... Okay. Making sure I'm getting the font right, essentially. Yeah. Okay, and then move this to the center. Sounds like an OSHA-based social movement. Could be a... Could be a, slogan that has been put in place by... I don't know, Order of a Union? Something, obviously, has promoted a considerable need for an increase in awareness of workplace safety. So, should this be... Do you like that K better or the first K? This one. Okay, about how frequent. Let's boost it up so I can see it better. Maybe anywhere from... It's like anywhere from a 7th to a 5th of any individual letter. First one seems to be capitalized, second one lowercase. That makes sense. Nope. I'm on the wrong layer. I'd say that's about right. And then we're gonna take blue. A little bit darker, a little bit less saturated. Okay. 4. Let's do 5 by 5. And then, not quite. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's by 6. Okay, so then that would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. If that's our block. So we then. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. 6. 7. 8. Okay, and actually, what if we used a slightly different shade for every other? Every other one to differentiate them as being in different blocks. Like so. Little subtle touch. Oh, hang on. This is gonna get me roasted by anyone who's into Minecraft. Is it? You place it and then it flows 7 blocks away from that, right? So 8 blocks total. It's not. One moment. This is not something I've had to look up in a long time. Forest block. Craft. Wiki. I don't use flowing water much. Not to the degree where I would need to know this by heart. Spreading. Yeah. Block 0, the source, and then 7 blocks away. I don't remember if it was that or if it was 8 blocks away from the source. Okay. So, that's good. Now, I think we take this, not that, this color. And this is where our Enderman comes back into play. Our poor, hapless Enderman employee. Caught up in a spill, a workplace accident that isn't their fault. And I'm going to copy that shape. And I'm going to offset it slightly. And I'm going to turn that into something else. I'm going to fill it with a damaged red transparent. Does that look like the Enderman is taking damage actively? Since we can't use an animation. I feel like that looks good. I feel like that looks real good for what we've got here. But we're not done yet, because that isn't the only mob that takes damage from water. On my way to tell my mom I threw up. I don't know if that comes across quite as well. What if I just shrink it down? With less... No. Sampling nearest neighbor. That didn't work great. Delete that. Okay. I'm gonna try that again. Okay, what happens if we take this shape, offset it, and... fill it with the same transparent color. I don't know if it comes across as well. What if take this whole layer and shift it this way? Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Now we take this. Okay, now I'm gonna take this and shift it down a couple. Well, just one, evidently. Okay, can I then... Not that. Now I want to select it, and then, okay, whatever. You know what? Hang on. Better to put the text in first. Let me make that any leaks. No, it should be all. That's more imperative. And furthermore, this way I can take the guy from this layer, squeak him over one, and it's perfect. Wait, yeah. What just happened? That's peculiar. Yeah, I'd say that looks good. What do you think, Planet? I'm gonna save it. Switch off. Cute, though the all isn't centered between report and leaks, but I see why. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with it like this, personally. But I will be sending you just the layer in question. So if you want to tweak it, I would not be offended at all. All right. And all right, and we've got one more to go before I'm done. I'm dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? 41%? Nearly half of the stream has been me dropping frames? Why is that? That's not good. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this to me? Come on. You haven't been noticing anything like that? Okay, okay. Hopefully it's stable enough to be readable. I might have to cancel Balatra if that is a recurring problem. Alright, we've got this last one here. I call it graffiti. It's going to be for the outside of one of your buildings. Have you checked the microwave? I have not checked the microwave, but the roommate said that they weren't going to be using the microwave, so they better not be. I should have aliasing on for this, actually. There we go. Select everything on that layer, delete it. Select everything on that layer, delete it. Yeah, this feels like an important thing for aliasing to be on for. Considering what the idea is behind it. Okay. And it is not going to look perfect, but it's not supposed to look perfect. Okay. And now I'm going to go to black. And it's meant to be a little bit messy because it was done in a hurry. And I need to add little sort of trickles coming off of it, like spray paint has been settling as it dries. Okay, that's gonna run out of room. And if it cuts off on the edge, it's not gonna look good. This is based off of the Finding Nemo addiction group. So we've got friends. Golems are friends. Not Effie. I think I'd like that in a slightly different color, actually. Like, there was a different protester who was putting this up with a different can of paint at the same time. Let's make that the nose gray. There we go. And then over here, someone screws up the cool S. Yeah, they painted a line where there was not supposed to be a line. I love the idea of the graffiti because my iron mill is golem free, so it's a battle of misinformation. Oh no! You could probably split this up into 3 graffiti pieces would give you more room to work with them, and I can scatter them about. That makes sense. Hang on. Where's the cutoff point there? 32. Can maybe do that. I was thinking... Darn. I was thinking, what if we just take this and split it between multiple paintings? Because then you could take... Yeah, but that doesn't exactly work right. I don't want to shrink this down too much, because if I do that, then the word ratio kind of gets, the size ratio of the words gets thrown off a little. I don't know if I can squeeze that into 32. High or wide, satisfactory, in a satisfactory manner. Increments of 32 as well. Yeah, this is 64 by 64. This is meant to be a 2x2 painting. Okay, hang on. Here's the idea. I'm going to separate each individual piece into different layers. And then make a couple of different paintings for you for this. I really like how the poppy turned out. So if we take that, put that there. And then I think it's safe to get rid of this. And then fill in that's 32 tall, so if I just do that. Perfect. And then make the friends not FE on this layer so that it fits in a 32 by 64. Now that. A bit too big. There we go. Okay. And now we make it a little bit drippy. So we take this. Make it a little more transparent. And then take the green, make it a little more transparent. And it just drips down from the stem like so. Take the gray. A little bit more transparent. Because the lettering is all done at an angle. Because that's how the person who painted it wanted it to be. But the drips are all straight down because that's how gravity works. This is kind of laid on a little thick at the bottom, so it's leaking in two places. There we go. Perfect. I think that's magnifique. So we will real quick crop to selection, delete the unnecessary layers, and then I'm gonna save this as graffiti 2. And then pop over to the layer with the S. Delete that one. To that, delete everything but the S. Nope, everything but the S. Save the S as graffiti 3. Okay. Undo. Delete the layers I've saved to something else. And save that as graffiti nothing. Replace that. Cool. Unmerge it. And then I want to open that one in another tab. There we go. Okay. So we take that and we redo this one, but also we gotta make this one have the drip. And having it be off-center, so it's not quite precisely in the middle of a block, will look good, I think. That's a bit too much. Up, back it up. Another little drip here. That's good, I think. Okay, close that out. And then I really like how the stop looked. I wonder if we can just make this... Well, I guess it doesn't have to occupy the whole space anyhow. Because, again, if it's not perfectly centered to a block, that's fine. Let's... Yeah. No, that's good. Okay, just gotta add the drips then. Just a little drip off of the end of the R. There we go. Now we'll start with this. This will drip more because it's at the bottom of a long... These sides, in particular, will drip more because they're at the bottom of a long line. Similarly, the nose will drip more on the corners. But the real attraction here will be the red. Because when that drips, it's gonna look horrific. A bit of unintended color mixing there. The poor golem. Yeah, yeah. That's the idea. All right. I'm gonna merge this down and save it, and then I'm gonna unmerge it, specifically get this part, crop to that. Crop to that. And then get rid of that. And then you get a Rest in peace, Golem. And then because I don't want it to be the exact same as that one, I will actually take this and... Can I rotate it without it looking funky? Can I turn that on? Maybe it looks a little dumb. I'm just gonna flip it precisely. There we go. And save this as Graffiti 4. Bam. Accidentally saved a different one as Graffiti 2. Whoops. Alright. That's where we're leaving the art segment of the stream off. I might be done for the day. We'll see how Balatro goes. I'll give it a shot. Be back soon for Balatro, hopefully. That was cool. Can't wait to pop him in the world. Have fun with him. Have fun, and have fun tweaking him too if you want. I should have given them a little bit of color so that you can color change them if you wanted. The word ones specifically. Anyhow, be back soon. Crossing fingers for Balatro.